It was just last year that we reached 100,000 living alumni of the university in more than 100 countries. With this commencement ceremony, with you graduating today, we begin CMU's march toward 200,000 living alumni. When I called Earl Lewis to be our commencement speaker this year, several months ago, he asked me what should he talk about. I said he can talk about whatever he chooses to talk about. We never compared notes. I had no idea until he started to speak what he was going to talk about, and he had no idea what I'm going to say now. It's all good. It turns out that we are approaching the same theme from very different angles. Unbeknownst to each other, we are focusing on a similar theme. Early this year, a group of CMU faculty members and I traveled to Switzerland to attend the World Economic Forum in Davos. For this meeting, which attracts world leaders, technologists, industry leaders, policymakers, writers, filmmakers, performers, and the global media, the World Economic Forum chose the theme, the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The first industrial revolution, which started in the late 18th century, created mechanization. Specifically, according to one perspective from the World Economic Forum, it was the year 1784, and the catalyst for this revolution were steam, water, and mechanical production equipment. A major outcome of this revolution was the emergence of industrialized cities where some form of human or animal labor could be replaced by mechanical labor. Each revolution created more advanced forms of manufacturing and altered the global economy in unprecedented and irreversible ways. The second industrial revolution, which started in the late 19th century, created mass production. The catalyst for this revolution, considered to have begun in 1870, were the division of labor, electricity, and mass production. A major outcome of this revolution was the emergence of industrialized regions and economies of scale. The third industrial revolution, which started in the late 20th century, created unprecedented automation. The catalyst for this revolution, considered to have begun in 1969, were microelectronics, information and communication technologies, the internet, robotics, and automation. A major outcome of this revolution was the emergence of global production networks, and the input costs were significantly altered. The fourth industrial revolution, which many leaders who were gathered at the World Economic Forum focused on, is believed to be occurring now in the early part of the 21st century, although no one is quite sure when exactly it began. In my view, what makes the fourth industrial revolution unlike the previous three stems from at least a few key factors. The speed of change, the role of the individual citizen of the world, whether he or she is educated or uneducated, is rich or poor, lives in a developed country or a developing country, he or she can engage in a two-way communication at the cutting edge of the fourth industrial revolution at lightning speed. Individual empowerment, scale in which the individual can do enormous good and equally enormous harm. The scope of change, the impact of that scope of change on the global system, intended versus unintended consequences, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. You are graduating at a particularly exciting time where the convergence of technologies and human interactions with those technologies is creating new possibilities and new challenges, new solutions to problems, and new threats that create major new problems in many domains of day-to-day life. On the one hand, the convergence of the digital, physical, and biological worlds is generating unprecedented questions and concerns about how governments and individuals will address such issues as employment, income levels, equality, ethics, security, policy, confidentiality, social justice, taxation, diplomacy, and global interactions. At the same time, the intersections of the real and virtual worlds and the tug of war between natural and artificial intelligence are creating interesting questions about the ways in which the 21st century will unfold during your lifetime. In your careers, say 50 years from now, Earl Lewis talked about the next 25 years, whether we emerge as better human beings or not will critically depend on how you shape the fourth industrial revolution, how you use or abuse the tools at your disposal, intentionally or unintentionally. Nobody is better prepared to shape the world than today's graduates of Carnegie Mellon University. CMU faculty, students, and staff played a pivotal role in their pioneering work that enabled many of the technologies that are critical to the fourth industrial revolution: computers and computing, robotics, mobile communications, big data, deep learning, science of learning, artificial intelligence, human-machine interactions, tools for cybersecurity, and the Internet of Things. CMU has purposefully emphasized to you during the course of your education here the importance of connecting the sciences, engineering, business, and technologies with human creativity and the arts, humanities, social, behavioral, and decision sciences, and policy. CMU's own Dr. Herbert Simon, Nobel Prize-winning pioneering professor, said in 1971, "A wealth of information creates a poverty of attention." To paraphrase it differently, a wealth of information can create sometimes enormous confusion between what Earl Lewis called garbage and the real stuff. Nobody is better prepared than you to use a wealth of information deliberately, using careful thought, reflection, and evidence to address major societal problems. Our 5 honorary degree candidates are role models in that important connection between technologies and the human condition that will unfold in the coming years and decades. Holly Hunter and Sonia Manzano used their beginnings at CMU to excel in the arts and the entertainment world. And Sonia skillfully combined entertainment and education to inspire young minds. Bob Langer is a pioneering engineer whose work at the intersections of engineering, science, and medicine shaped new technologies. Our own alumnus, Jim Schwartz, excelled in creating new business opportunities, economic value, and societal impact on a global scale for those kinds of rapidly emerging technologies. Earl Lewis, with a keen eye and knowledge of history, used the past to shape the present and the future by applying his intellect and energy to expand diversity in academia, to connect the digital world with the humanities, and through his leadership roles in academia and nonprofits. As many have said, and as I have said before, that some of the greatest technological achievements of the 20th century have played a major role in creating some of the toughest grand challenges of the 21st century. As CMU graduates and global citizens, you have exceptional talent and unique cross-disciplinary perspectives that will enable you to face and address these tough problems without creating new challenges for the next revolution. My congratulations to you, to your families and friends, and my enormous gratitude to you for sharing your time with us during the past few years. Congratulations.